grew up on a ranch, and we always had a huge garden. So I just started doing that, and then when I was probably 12, I started growing shallots, which are like French onion, and I started selling them, and it just more and more and more. Went to college, got a bachelor's in dairy science, pushed cows around for a few years, and then tried a few crops. Tried potatoes, sweet corn, or organic potatoes, organic sweet corn, organic artichokes. Just really didn't make anything work, and then I got into this. My grandmother's brothers used to do this, and they got out of it. So I said, well, I'll give it a try. So I do. So this is part of what I do. We also grow hay for silage. So, like I'm already starting right now for next year, because what you need to do is you need to find out what your soil needs. If you don't take care of your soil, you're not going to have any. So you have to do soil tests and figure out what it needs. The best time to apply that's in the fall. So you apply it in the fall, you do your groundwork, and then in the spring, our last rain this spring was March 18th. So Mother Nature kind of tells me when I have to start doing my groundwork. So 2-3 weeks after that, and I started working up the ground and getting it ready, and then the ground just sits. And it all depends on the day length, because pumpkins, corn, all kinds of plants, there's so many days to harvest. And like some varieties of pumpkins are 85 days, some are as much as 120 days until they're mature. So you plant accordingly. So generally, first part of June, I start this. With the corn, first part of July. It all depends on the variety. Like the munchkins, the little munchkins, they may make 10 to 15. The bigger pumpkins, maybe only 2.
How has the drought impacted
It hasn't, because everything's on irrigation. Yeah. It's all on drip irrigation. I've been on drip forever, ever since I started.
What variety is good for eating or baking?
You know, there's quite a few varieties.
Here, the
Like
Coinbase is to the ear.
Cinderella
They look
pumpkins
really
are
cool.
really high in sugar.
Wow.
A lot of people ask, what do I do with the pumpkins? Do I sell them to a cannery? Well, generally, pumpkins are not a really high dollar crop, so you have to be close to the cannery, and you have to have.
It goes up 2010.
People are doing contracts right now for next year. So then the cannery says, I want you to plant this pumpkin. You know, the white pumpkins are good, the Cinderellas are good, there's some sugar pumpkins that are good. It all depends on the plant. And you know, like I said, the smaller ones produce more pumpkins, and the bigger pumpkins is less berry. But I usually plant
Okay, you want to go?
This one you were born.
about 20 square feet per plant. That's what I figured. You know, we just found out, we did a little experiment on the white pumpkins, we call them Casperitas, and we put them 1 foot apart in the row. And we had some that were 2 foot apart, and the ones that were 1 foot apart, there was no difference. So we're going to plant them closer together because they're still going to produce. So we'll almost get double the because it didn't affect the size. Some plants like the banana squash that get real big, I'll plant them real close together, so they're not big.
Would you say planting them you already had like a method, or is it mostly trial and error, like something you did? Like how far apart you plant them?
So I've always planted them about 20, 24 inches apart in the row, but just with different varieties, you just try different things and see. try not to have anything left over. When I will have something left over, it's because like 6 years ago, I looked at a picture last week. 6 years ago, this was an inch underwater, and this ground is clay, so you can't walk on it or else you just grow. Every step you grow. So some years like that, and you have a lot left over. Most of the time, I don't have any. Sometimes I may have to buy some. It's rare. Last year I bought one semi. Every year is different. Everybody says, "Oh, you should have a great year." Well, you never know until it's over.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, who would have thought 5 years ago if somebody would have said, you know, you're gonna have to close down because it's gonna be too smoky. I mean, who would have ever thought that we'd have the wildfires like we did, and I had to close for a week? I think the biggest, one of the most important aspects about what I'm doing is taking care of the land, taking care of the soil, knowing what the soil has in it, knowing what it needs, adding something. It's the biggest thing. And that completely affects your yield. It starts with pH.